I think it's very significant that the Supreme Court has intervened in a suo motu manner, that is, that they've taken their own initiative, because the Supreme Court has historically in our country had a role as a guardian of the environment. To my mind, this is something we should welcome. But beyond that, when a matter is sub judice, it would not be appropriate for any politician to comment on the merits of the matter. I think the Supreme Court, taking heed of the environmental concerns of the public, which have been widely expressed, is a very healthy development, and we welcome it. On the outcome, we have to wait for their consideration.
These questions, India's view of environment as an economic
No, listen, the environment and development tension is an old cliche. The honest truth is we need development and we also need the environment. It's what we call, when I was at the UN, we came up with the phrase sustainable development. That is development that ensures that the environment itself is preserved in a way that can be sustained for future generations. So, yes, you need the factory, you need the jobs, etc., but you don't need the pollution coming out of the factory. So you need to create something that is environmentally friendly, but that generates both the economic growth, the items required, and the jobs for the workers. This is the kind of sustainable development that is the goal of every country today. And we must also head in that direction. When it comes to mining, there are obvious needs for mining in many parts of the country. The specific circumstances of the Aravalis are precisely what has created the outcry by not just environmentalists, but very many members of the public as well. It can have, because mining activities will add more dust into the air, more particles will come. Already we have a very severe problem there. The Aravalis are a natural barrier against the spreading of the Thar Desert eastwards. So given all of these considerations, there are some very, very specific reasons why people are not in favor of mining in the Aravalis. But let the Supreme Court look. I am not, as a Supreme Court judge, I can't presume to rule on the substance.
Indigo has been cancelled a lot of aeroplanes today also. Even Congress is trying to remove CEO from his post. So how do you see Indigo's developments right now?
Look, I have been a bit disappointed by this entire situation because an airline that had such a success rate in India and commanded 65% of the market ought to have been more responsible and proactive, given that the government says that they gave the advance notice to all airlines in time to prepare the necessary recruitment of pilots to adjust to the new schedule. Now, was this not done? Did the board of the company sleep on the job? Did the DGCA, which is the regulator, did they fail to perform their duty of ensuring that companies were on the path to fulfilling their obligations? It is rather striking that Air India, which has about 30% of the market, and the two smaller airlines were able to fulfill their obligations and recruit enough pilots, so they have not been affected. It is only Indigo that has somehow completely failed in this duty, and for that there has to be a serious analysis and some accountability. That is the desire of everybody in the travelling public. Again, that is a matter that is sub judice, but it seems to me that when the Supreme Court says that in this kind of case there are both matters of fact and matters of law involving an extremely grave offence, it is a bit of a rebuke to the High Court as to how they could have granted bail in these circumstances. So there is a larger question. First, there is this individual case, and again, because it is sub judice, it is not right for me to make a merits comment, other than to say that I'm glad the Supreme Court has seized of the matter. But there is another question about the standards of the High Courts. I'm glad we have a check and balance review mechanism where the Supreme Court is able to study what the High Court has decided. But how do we get to a situation where a High Court can make such an apparently unviable, irresponsible decision that is even bad in law? In that case, there is something that has gone wrong in the system, and the court should look into this with the utmost seriousness that it deserves.